Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
I'm very, very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born. She was born yesterday at 11:55 a.m. in the country where she was born. So this will not give you more details about the location. She's fine. We call her Eve. Between us, you knew that, of course. Some suggested it, and I thought it was a good idea, actually. You won't have the right name. You know, for a long time, I thought that this press conference will be with the baby, the parents, the scientists, everybody surrounding me, and having pleasure announcing it. I'm alone, and there is a reason to that. It hasn't been easy to face the world with this announcement. And we have been discussing with the parents the last 3 months how we would handle today, and they decided not to show up yet. They will.
And so it begins, the beginning of the end of the downfall of human civilization, trying to play God.
Did you know that Vladimir Putin, the Russian's president, he's passed a law that any Russian who grows or sells genetically modified foods is to be considered a terrorist. He's even giving land away to Russians who will grow food organically, non-GMO. You put his name and GMO in Google app. He says, we Russians look across at the West, over-vaccinated, over-medicated, overfed, sitting in front of boxes every night in their lounge rooms, eating food that has no nutrients, he said, and we know it's weakening the West. Is he right? Unfortunately, Monsanto is so powerful and so wealthy and so big, they win every court case. So how do you know? Well, you don't, unless you buy organic. So grow as much as you can yourself. One organic tomato will give you 9 times the iron of a conventionally grown tomato. So you get much more value for your money.
Say what you want about Russia. We need to be modeling that here in the United States.
So apparently there's no sound in space, right?
Yeah, I heard of that.
But NASA just released a sound of a black hole.
What does it sound like?
It sounds like all distorted. But the crazy question is, not the sound of the black hole, but how did they capture the sound of the black hole if there's no air in space?
So there can't be sound, right?
Yeah. So like, how the fuck did they capture the sound of this black hole?
How does it even make a sound?
It's like they're almost trying to create something for a fake narrative.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's just another clear-cut example of NASA's lying. Either they're lying about there not being any sound in space, or they're lying about the sound of the black hole. Which one is it?
This whole Stephen Hawking's being on the list reminds me of a conspiracy I heard. That Stephen Hawking wasn't even actually a real person, but a character. So before he had a robot talking for him, he had a translator.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist, or model railways, or playing complicated games. Was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me.
People are questioning how someone translates those grunts into actual sentences. It just doesn't add up to them.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist.
Like, how is that being translated? It's like Han Solo translating for Chewbacca. Now, kinda how the media uses children as shields, people believe that Stephen Hawking was used as a shield, that he was an actual person with actual ALS. But if people questioned anything he said, like his research on the Big Bang Theory, and attacked him for that, oh, how dare you attack somebody with ALS? How dare you attack somebody that's crippled? Kinda how the media use children today and go, how dare you attack a child whenever an angry mob questions their opinion. People are less likely to do so because of that. It's called empathy. But what do you think? Was he just a puppet? Or can you really translate grunts like that?
Huh. This one makes me think. I don't know. That makes sense. It does make sense. That guy was clearly making up his translation. There's no way that that's what Stephen Hawking was trying to say.
I know you guys love her, but can we talk about some of Chrissy Teigen's disturbing old tweets? Now, some of these are just reactions to the show Toddlers and Tiaras, but they're a little creepy. Like this one saying, seeing little girls do splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. Girl, what? And this one that goes, water slides that go through a shark tank? Time to get my blank on. Huh? Then she compared a baby to a P-star. Why would you even make that comparison? And then another tweet saying, I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. I just want y'all to know that Anthony Weiner was a politician who went to prison because he got caught talking to minors. And in Toddlers and Tiaras, I guess there was a little boy who finally joined the pageant. Chrissy decided to tweet finally some eye candy for me. Make sure you follow me because part 2 even gets more disturbing.
The guy hasn't posted part 2, just to let you know, so that's not available. But what a disgusting human being. I've been aware of her tweet history for quite a while, and that's just scratching the surface. It gets way more disturbing.
Could race be a result of a particular gene from the people that ruled over a region of us on the planet? And here's what I found out. Scientists, geneticists discovered that there's a 2% variance in genes between races. In other words, what makes me a person that's dark-skinned with more melanin in my skin than you who's more fair-skinned with slightly less melanin in your skin is not because my ancestors were in the Sahara Desert working in the desert underneath the hot sun all day. And that's what they teach you in school. The reason why my skin is this way is because I'm genetically branded, and so are you. You're genetically branded, and so are the indigenous peoples of all the other continents on the planet. We're genetically branded by why? The person who ruled over us gave us a brand. It's like they brand a cow and say, oh, that's Farmer Jim's cow. Don't touch them. We got you see the brand right there? Well, when these people spread out around the planet to rule over different regions of the planet, they genetically branded the people they ruled over to resemble them. They said that a 2% variance would take multi-millions of years to happen in natural evolution, and yet it only happened in 200,000 years. It tells us something interesting, that this is an artificial mutation that was done on purpose to create a specific group or specific races or groups of people that resembled, let us make man in our image, if you know what I mean.
That would kind of make sense if it would take 2 million years for us to get this 2% variation in our DNA between different ethnicities. It would only make sense if we did it in 200,000 years, that there was some sort of intervention. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, I make a new one just like it every single day. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me.
There's this creature called the Kakamora. This thing is like a Bigfoot creature that also lives in the Solomon Islands. The theory is there's multiple hybrid human things that live in these islands, but the Kakamora, it's like a 4 to 5 foot Bigfoot, and it goes in and kidnaps children and eats them.
That is terrifying. I'm just imagining this like dense little buff.
Yeah, like a Tasmanian devil.
Grabbing kids.
But supposedly their language is like this cackling.
Stop.
The villagers all around the Solomon Islands talk about how they hear them in the woods at night gather together, and they cackle talk and even sing songs in their cackling. But
Give me
they
your best
said,
cackle. Dude, that's it.
Stop!
Just in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
But they're pretty unintelligent. They steal food as well, like from their fruit trees.
Yeah.
But they don't even know how to make fire. But they're intelligent enough to come in and steal fire from villages and bring it back to where they
You're
are.
like, ow, 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 ow.
I got it.
I am never visiting the Solomon Islands unless I'm going there with a research team and full body armor to try to hunt something down. Sounds like a terrifying place with a lot of lost cryptids hanging about.
The Yummy Justin Bieber video. The whole rollout of Justin Bieber's Yummy, he would post on Instagram baby pictures. So it would be like a baby, hashtag yummy. Another picture, hashtag yummy. It's still up. He hasn't taken it down. But in the actual music video, it starts with a girl and she's like really uncomfortable. They're like at this like buffet meeting type thing. And we'll get back to her. But during the video, there's a cherry covered by bread. What does cherries represent? Virginity. But in the video, it's being covered for now. But then the video goes on and like there's a bunch of food, like weird food across the table, right? And you know, like elites, they have a weird appetite. Like they'll eat anything. You know what I mean? So it's like sardines, jello, big ass cakes, right? And then once he starts devouring it, he gets into like a high, right? And everyone's saying that that's the adrenochrome high. You know what I mean? And then, what do you call this? During the video, it pans back to the bread. Now it's not covering the cherry. The cherry's like pan to the people now. And then the last scene was what do you call this? A plate. And then it says Yummy and Justin Bieber when he was a kid.
When he's a kid, yeah. So it's showing like how when he was an upcoming kid star, they looked at him like that as, oh, that's Yummy. Like,
now he's doing it.
Let me take a bite of him type of shit.
Yeah.
Did you see the footage of like P. Diddy and Justin Bieber?
P. Diddy, no. What happened?
Yo, there's a lot of conspiracy about people.
I don't know, man. That almost seems like Justin Bieber's trying to warn everybody about the music industry.
Now what shall we do? Let us make our escape out of the kingdom.
Seafaring man.
Let us hail him. Hail, Captain, hail.
Hello.
Is that your ship yonder?
It is.
Whither are you bound?
To Ethiopia.
Do you take passengers?
I do.
Will you take us?
I will, if you have King Solomon's pass.
We have no pass, but we have money, and we will pay you your demands.
Then you cannot go, for I have strict orders not to take workmen from the temple out of the country unless express permission from King Solomon.
What shall we do? Let us turn back into the country.
Agreed.
Most excellent King Solomon, the Grand Master Hammurabi is missing.
How do you know to be missing?
You seen the Grand Master Hammurabi?
You seen the Grand Master Hammurabi? Have you? Have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen the Grand Master Hammurabi? Hail, brother. Hail, brother. What discoveries have you made?
The earth has been recently removed. It has the appearance of a grave.
What causes confusion among the crowd?
Most excellent King Solomon called for us on return.
Body of the Grand Master Hiram V.
That seems like a bunch of grown men practicing for a play and doing a poor job of it. I'm a 40-year-old man, and you couldn't pay me to go to something like that and partake in that cringy, childlike ritual. These people that join up in this stuff, it doesn't make any sense to me. But then again, I'm not the type of guy they want in it.
This is the fuel. This is like, if we attack this subject, it opens up the door to understand who we are, where we're going, what we're capable of, because it deals with consciousness. Now, people kind of go like UFOs, like what do they do with consciousness? Well, as my partner Jim from the agency always says, it's like UFOs have something to do with the border between consciousness and quantum mechanics. And what that really means is reality infinitely is happening at one moment, past, present, future. There is no linear time. It's all parallel.
Whoa,
and that's
okay.
physics.
All right.
Which means with the right machinery, you can navigate backwards and forwards in time, or you can meditate and do the same thing. And so what gets really interesting quick is once we learn what they are, what they're doing, and how they're different from us, potentially, then we start to understand, whoa, we're pretty powerful. This is really like big boy stuff, right? We have the potential to understand how we create reality. Like consciousness controls matter. And no, mind over matter, that's where that comes from, but that's like physics. So I believe by doing all this, bringing about a discussion of discovering what these are, really opens the door to discussing, we discovered consciousness and how does that apply to us? And once we do that, game on.
I don't know if I can buy into this whole time travel thing. I feel like we would have a lot of signs of it all around us. Could be the explanation for the Mandela effect. I don't know. I can't buy into that.
Everything that we learned in schools about our own country's founding was a complete lie. We were told that America was named after Americo Vespucci. But what if I told you that he actually changed his name to Americo after he had explored America? And that America is actually named after Amaruca, which is the land of the plumed serpent, which was ruled by Amaru, the plumed serpent. Not to mention that our entire Constitution was written after the Gothic Constitution, which is the handbook of Freemason law. And that the majority of every single founder of America was a Freemason or involved in the Illuminati. And that how in the 1990s, Benjamin Franklin's house was literally discovered to have had 19 bodies underneath it. And not to mention, Benjamin Franklin was an avid participator of the Hellfires Club. Do we even need to talk about how the entire city of Washington, D.C. is shaped like a pentagram? And how the Washington Monument actually symbolizes the phallic symbol for Osiris? And how on the dollar bill is the Illuminati sign? And underneath it, it says, "In God we trust." Like, which God are you referring to? How it says in the Bible that we are never supposed to pledge an oath or pledge allegiance to anything but God. The first thing that we do in America is pledge allegiance to the flag. Sorry folks, but there is nothing to be patriotic about in America, because America is the land of the serpent.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being patriotic. I don't think you should follow your government blindly. That's not patriotism. That's stupidity. And there's obviously some dark, evil stuff lurking beneath the surface in this country, and always has been. But we're trying hard to eradicate it, and the culture's shifting.
The only hardcore thing is that there is an extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that sect. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
It's so far out.
All right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
Supposedly, Jesus and two other beings were genetically engineered. They were implanted in people on Earth in biblical times, and their births were closely monitored. Now, just some little connections to that my wife had brought up were in the Bible. They said that the star had followed Mary wherever she went, and that all UFO sightings always start out as people, well, gee, that looks like a bright star, and well, in fact, they said in the Bible, the brightest star in the sky followed her where she went, and it just made little connections like that. Okay.
It's easy right now with aliens being such a hot topic to try to instill them into everything and say, oh, this was aliens, that was aliens, this story's about aliens. I think that's easy to do right now, but I think that's just the government trying to make that connection. I doubt they got some secret information that we're not all privy to in regards to the Bible.
I stand corrected. My mind is blown.
This rocket is hitting the firmament dome, but I'm about to show you the truth about what it actually hits. Get ready. But many people think that rocket hit God's firmament dome, and that's why water appeared, because they thought that it was the waters above the firmament that were causing that water type appearance. But they did not hit the firmament, because God said in Proverbs 25 verse 3, the heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. So we know that the height of the heaven is actually unsearchable. And remember, in Genesis 1, God called the firmament heaven. So they cannot search the height of the heaven or of the firmament. They will never be able to reach the firmament. What you saw was a superfluid realm called the ether that they are hiding from you. This realm of superfluid is also known as the blue air, and there's actually explorers who trapped samples of this air. So when you see this blue type liquid, you're seeing the superfluid ether realm that's above us. It starts at about 73 miles up, and it is not the firmament. It is a dense realm of air that is referred to as a superfluid. Back then, they used to believe that the ether permeated space. The reason they're hiding this ether from you is because it actually proves that the earth is not moving at all. So I want to show you this document here that's talking about the ether, right? It's normally transparent, meaning you can't see it, but it can be made visible by hitting it sufficiently hard to knock out a part. Alright, so we know that ether can be made visible when it's hit by something, right? Now you see the superfluid realm being hit. Now look at this moon footage. You have these little waves going across. Here goes another one. So we know the moon is traveling through this ether type realm. Now this is why in the 1900s they conducted the Michelson-Morley experiment to try and prove that the earth is moving through the ether realm. This would prove for them that the earth is moving through space. Because remember, they said that the ether permeates space, or makes up space. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, they did not observe the movement of the earth through this ether realm. So what did they do? They pretty much proved that the earth is not moving. It's stationary. It's not moving through space, or it's not moving through this ether realm. Of course, because God's word is true. He told us the world is established and that it cannot be moved. So then what happened? Einstein released his special theory of relativity, and then the physics community started to accept that the ether does not exist. But of course they're going to say that the ether doesn't exist because it disproves the ball earth. But of course, 50 years later, here's more documents, the failure of the US attempts to attain supremacy of the ether. So they know this ether exists, they're just not telling you. Here's another one where the US tried to obtain supremacy of the ether once again. And like I say all the time, they have to put things right in your face. So of course they added into popular video games like Minecraft, you have the ether dimension. Here it is here. What do you see? You see that blue super liquid type fluid realm. Of course they made it blue because they put it right in your face. Here's another game. You have the ether. That's why it's blue. That's why our sky is blue. You're looking at the ether realm. A super fluid. This is why it's important to read your Bible first before you start believing conspiracy theories, right? Because no one can reach the firmament. God told us they cannot measure the heavens for height. God bless you guys. I hope you can spread this information on to someone who got deceived by this. Don't forget to like and follow. I'll see you in the next one.
Man, I feel like this guy just disproved flat earth on accident because he's a flat earther. Now, I've seen this guy make videos on the old encyclopedias that show that there's a firmament or a glass dome in Antarctica at such and such latitude and longitude. Now he's saying that the firmament can't be seen, can't be reached, can't be found because it's heaven. That doesn't make any sense. Did he just disprove his own theory?
The Norimitsu Adachi, a colossal weapon hailing from Japan, has intrigued many with its unparalleled dimensions. Forged seamlessly as a single piece, this sword stretches a staggering 3.77 meters, tipping the scales at a remarkable 14.5 kilograms. The sheer enormity of this blade leaves people astounded and eager to unravel its mysteries. Scholars and enthusiasts alike have pondered about the identity of its enigmatic owner, and speculated on the stature of the warrior who wielded it in battle. With more questions than answers, the Norimitsu Adachi stands as a testament to the awe-inspiring craftsmanship and the captivating stories concealed within ancient Japanese weaponry.
I want to know if there's any damage on the blade of that thing. Was it actually used in battle? Guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it right there. I know this is a shorter video than usual, but I've had to remove several things. This is my third attempt at uploading this, and I keep getting a lot of copyright issues today for some reason. So I keep taking out clips, and we've gotten to about the 20-minute mark now, down from about 35. So sometimes we have that issue. Most of the time we don't. So hopefully tomorrow the video will be much longer. I will be back tomorrow with that video, and I hope you guys come back to join me. I will see you then. Have a great, safe, happy day. I will see you tomorrow.